Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of true crime and explore some of the most horrific cases of serial killers in history. From the infamous Ted Bundy to the lesser-known Tsutomu Miyazaki, these cases will send shivers down your spine. Ted Bundy. Our first case is Ted Bundy, a notorious serial killer who murdered at least 30 young women in the 1970s. Bundy was known for his charm and intelligence, which he used to lure his victims. He was eventually caught and sentenced to death in 1979. Timothy McVeigh. Next up, we have Timothy McVeigh, who was responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. The bombing killed 168 people and injured over 680 others. McVeigh was sentenced to death and was executed in 2001. Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer, was responsible for the murders of at least 49 women in the Seattle area in the 1980s and 1990s. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy was a serial killer who murdered at least 33 teenage boys and young men in the Chicago area in the 1970s. He was known as the Killer Clown due to his job as a children's entertainer. Gacy was sentenced to death in 1980 and was executed in 1994. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos was a serial killer who murdered at least 7 men in Florida in the late 1980s and early 1990s. She claimed that the murders were in self-defense, but was ultimately sentenced to death and was executed in 2002. Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer and cannibal who murdered at least 17 young men and boys in the Milwaukee area in the 1980s. He was known for his gruesome crimes, which included dismemberment and cannibalism. Dahmer was sentenced to death in 1992, but was murdered by another inmate in prison before his execution. Tsutomu Miyazaki. Our final case is Tsutomu Miyazaki, also known as the Otaku Killer. Miyazaki was a Japanese serial killer who murdered 4 young girls in the late 1980s. He was known for his obsession with anime and manga and kept a diary detailing his crimes. Miyazaki was sentenced to death and was executed in 2008. These cases provide a chilling look into the lives and crimes of some of the most notorious serial killers in history. While their stories may be unsettling, they offer an opportunity to learn more about the motivations and behaviors of those who commit such heinous acts. It's important to continue exploring these cases in order to gain a deeper understanding of the impact of such violence on society, and to work towards preventing similar tragedies in the future. Let us honor the memories of those affected by these crimes by seeking justice and promoting safety for all. Thank you for watching.